It's hard to believe that this magnificent cliffside spot has legendary links with the forces of evil. Found out what devilish exploits supposedly took place here, and indeed where I am, in just a moment. On today's show, I'll be helping a couple who want to escape the rat race and start a new business from their country home. They've seen 23 houses already, so I may have a tough job on my hands.
It's a bit Jekyll and Hyde, this one.
Yeah, it is. But in a good way, though, right?
Yeah.
But then we strike gold.
I would be very distraught, I think, almost, if we didn't get this one.
Today I'm in the Wye Valley, and this limestone outcrop overlooking the River Wye and Tintern Abbey that you can see just down there is known as the Devil's Pulpit. Now the story goes that the devil tried to lure the abbey's monks away from their Cistercian duties, but after a showering of holy water, it's said that he fled for good. It's also thought that this spot inspired William Wordsworth's poetry, and I must say, when you're stood here looking down upon that beautiful landscape, it's quite easy to see why. The Wye Valley is a protected natural area encompassing the southern section of the England-Wales border and covering parts of Monmouthshire and Gloucestershire. Named after the river which flows along this border, it's an area of outstanding natural beauty and one of the most dramatic and varied landscapes in southern Britain. From the limestone cliffs and steep gorges around Simmons Yacht to the lowlands around Ross-on-Wye, where the river meanders through farmland overlooked by the attractive market town. Besides the heritage of the River Wye, the region is home to one of the most celebrated forests in Britain. The Royal Forest of Dean earned its majestic title from being used as a hunting ground by kings since Norman times. So, from preserved countryside to historic villages, the Wye Valley has rural charm in abundance and makes a perfect destination for those looking for an escape from city life. If you take a snapshot of the property prices of the three counties that make up the Wye Valley, that's Monmouthshire, Gloucestershire and Herefordshire, then the average price of a detached property comes in at just over £10,000 above the national figure. But as we all know, it's all about geography. Now, towards the south, Chepstow has great access into Bristol. Therefore, it adds a premium, as do houses around Hereford to the north. But for today's buyers, they're after a property that's well and truly on the tourist trail, and that also comes with land. So let's meet them and find out why. For the last 2 decades, Adrian and Sarah have lived in Guildford, Surrey. They met through mutual friends 23 years ago. Their romance blossomed, but then Sarah had to jet off on a business trip to the States.
I was a bit worried that I might not see him again, so I sent him a postcard from Seattle, basically saying that I would like to see him again. I said, I'm sleepless in Seattle, any suggestions?
It's nice and subtle.
Adrian has lived in Guildford all of his life, but both he and Sarah are now looking for something a bit quieter, away from the hustle and bustle of the popular commuter town.
It is a nice place, but it's just getting busier and busier. And I'm concerned because I think there are going to be a lot more houses built. I don't think really that the infrastructure is going to cope much longer, really. So we feel we could probably find a better property, better suited to our requirements down in the Wye Valley.
The couple first discovered the Wye Valley a few years ago and have since fallen in love with this beautiful border region.
We've holidayed there a few times and we just love the area. It's so beautiful. It's actually quite different to where we are in Surrey. Lots of forests, the River Valley, it's gorgeous, and we're just really looking forward to being able to go out and do our hobbies and have them all on our doorstep and hopefully try some new things too.
While Sarah loves her riding, Adrian is a keen angler. The region they've chosen lent itself to both hobbies.
I've fished all the local lakes and rivers around here, so I'm almost on first-name terms with some of the fish now. So I really want to try somewhere else. The River Wye itself, I think it's probably one of the best fishing rivers in the country, if not the best. But there's so much more to the area than just the fish.
For Sarah, it's the proximity to accessible countryside that's the motivating force.
I think we've always dreamed of being able to just literally put the lead on our black Labrador Tarn and take her out into the forest and walk without having to put her on a lead and take her in the car somewhere. I obviously love my horse riding. My horse, Bibo, actually has the lifestyle that we dream of. He is in the countryside, but unfortunately, we're not currently, but hopefully we'll be able to change that and all be in the countryside together.
When they're not busy with their hobbies, they intend to work from home. Adrian is an account manager and Sarah has a career in marketing. But they also have plans to start their own glamping business once they're settled. They're more than ready to take their next step. It seems the only thing they might miss is their friends.
I think it'll be a little bit difficult moving away, but we know that where we're moving to is such a lovely part of the countryside that I know we'll definitely get people coming to see us.
Adrian and Sarah have chosen the Wye Valley to be close to the river for their hobbies. So our house search will focus on the counties of Monmouthshire and Gloucestershire. I'm meeting them on the riverbank to hear what the current state of play is with their property search. Well, if you're looking for a fisherman, this is a place to find him, isn't it? Good morning.
Good morning.
Beautiful place, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Indeed.
You've been looking for a while?
About 18 months, is it?
What?
Yeah.
And?
We
Haven't quite found the one yet.
we found some that were very nice, but not quite there.
Come on, how many houses have you looked at?
23
23. You viewed 23 houses?
in 18
Yes,
months,
yes.
yeah.
Why now then?
I think we just want to get away from our mad life at home.
Is it mad?
It is a bit mad, a bit busy, very noisy, and want to set up a business.
You want to set up a business here?
Absolutely.
Now,
Yep.
you're both employed at the moment.
Correct.
Yeah.
Have you run a business before?
Well, I run my own business currently.
OK, that's a good start. Where do you want to be? I mean, if you want a bit of land in the middle of the countryside or in a village or...
Yeah, I think it'll have to be really rural rather
Yes,
than in a
definitely
village.
rural.
Good,
Because
OK.
you won't get the space otherwise.
Now, let's talk about the house itself. What style do you like? What are you looking for?
Well, we prefer older properties.
Good.
We like properties that are a bit quirky, I would think. Not so keen on modern houses,
All
particularly.
right. What do you call modern?
A sort of 1970s bungalow would be my idea of...
That would be a
Not
problem.
OK, that's the mystery house out. OK. OK. How big a house are you looking for there?
3 bedrooms, really.
Yeah.
Because then we've got one which we can use as an office, which would be perfect.
Yeah. And 2 minimum, because it's just the 2 of us. So
Yeah.
we haven't got kids or anything.
What's the most important room in the house?
Kitchen, diner.
Yeah.
We like
Always.
open plan living.
And it's by the sounds of it, you like to do your pursuits, come back and
Absolutely.
probably have
Have
a
a glass
bottle of
of
wine
wine,
and then
yeah.
talk about what you've been doing.
And we have a
Fantastic.
dog as well, so we spend a lot of time with her downstairs, so it's nice to have the open plan
OK.
kitchen diner area.
Anything that might just tip you over the edge and make you actually say, right, this is it? Because you've obviously not found that yet. Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
You've looked at 23 houses and there's been something wrong. Maybe you've had to make compromise along the way, but what would you see and you'd think, wow, this is for me. I'm going to try and convince her or I'm going to try and convince him.
I think if it had woodland, because we'd love to build a tree house, that would be
Okay.
our dream,
That
to
would
build
be-
a tree
that'd be
house for
fantastic.
glamping.
Most importantly, budget. How much are we talking?
Budget's up to £650,000
How soon can you move?
immediately.
Straight away.
Let's go then, come on. Armed with a top budget of £650,000, Adrian and Sarah would like an older, characterful house that has an open plan layout inside. They'd like 3 bedrooms, a home office, and are after a rural location with a minimum of 1 acre of land to establish a glamping business in their grounds. Based on that wish list, we've selected a range of worthy Wye Valley properties for Adrian and Sarah to view, but they won't know the price of each house until the end of our tours. Our final offering is the mystery property, which offers them a twist on their business idea. Our property journey is taking us to Barbados Hill, just outside Tintern in Monmouthshire. The village of Tintern is best known for the haunting monastic ruins of its abbey, founded in the 12th century and dissolved by Henry VIII some 400 years later. Nestled in the Wye Valley, the village caters for the thousands of tourists who visit the abbey each year. But there's also a strong sense of community here. It has a village hall and a local pub. The property we've come to see is located on a hillside overlooking the Abbey. Now, I want us to start just over here, because I think this is the best spot to get your first impressions of the house and the land.
Well, there's plenty of trees.
Lots of trees.
That's a magnificent setting, isn't it? It really is.
Now, the house. This is us.
I like it.
It's quite a cute front door and
Yeah.
yeah.
You're not convincing me here, Sarah, at the moment. Be honest. Come on, what's going through your mind? A veteran of all these house viewings that you've had recently in this part of the world.
It looks a bit too modern for my liking. Not so much character.
Should we go inside?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sarah shouldn't worry. Although the house was extended in the 1990s, parts of the property are 100 years old, and there's definitely more character inside. Right then, let's come right into this kitchen. Farmhouse kitchen, really, isn't it?
Absolutely. This is more what you would kind of expect, I think.
Yeah, and the quarry floor and wood units. It's very country kitchen.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It's maybe not quite my taste.
I could live with it. You come back from a day's fishing out in the cold in the winter to come back into this. Quite nice.
Oh, I can
Very
see it
nice.
now. Him hanging in all of his wet fishing gear over the range. That won't go down well, mate, will it? The kitchen's solid fuel range provides central heating and hot water for the whole house, so Adrian can put those trees to good use and lower the energy bills. In the next room, there's a multi-fuel burner to relax in front of. Tell me what you think of this room.
Oh, this is better. A bit more light to it, actually. Made me realise that the kitchen was a bit darker. We like the...
It's a bit more light and airy.
A bit more light, and you get more perspective of the views as well.
I mean, look out there. I mean, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, all the windows make a big difference.
Now, bearing in mind the clothes that this house is in, you said it looked very modern outside.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know you're in this house now, would you?
Yeah, it's a bit Jekyll and Hyde, this one.
Yeah,
It is.
but in a good way, though, right?
Yeah.
The ground floor also includes a study that could make a home office. Upstairs, off a galleried landing, are 3 bedrooms. These include a double, currently decked out with bunk beds, and a cosy single. All 3 make use of the family bathroom, but I'm keen to show them the charming master. Now I have to show you this is the master bedroom, because just look through that window. Tintern Abbey.
Word.
Wow, that is a view.
That's amazing.
You've also got an ensuite loo, just the loo, and your family bathroom is at the other end.
Okay.
But this house gives you something quite different. This is your living accommodation, but you've also got pretty much 90% converted loft space above. With windows, it's boarded out, it's got some power up there, it just needs insulating, a few bits and bobs done, and it'll pass building regs. It's fantastic. I reckon we've warmed this house a little bit. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm warming
Yeah?
to it. Yeah.
I can see the potential.
Good. But potential is definitely the word I'd use outside. Come with me. The property stands within 1 acre of grounds. Because of its hillside position, the garden is terraced into sections of lawn and wooded areas. Now you can see there's been a serious amount of planting and landscaping gone on here, can't you?
Wow.
Hidden amongst the trees is this gem. A log cabin constructed in Norwegian pine, which could make an excellent holiday let. Now, what about this little secret hidden in the woods?
Wow. Wow. It's a log cabin.
You need planning consent if you're going to use this as a proper log cabin and let it out. But you're almost ready for business, aren't you?
We are indeed. Get it up and running really
No time,
quickly.
I would have thought.
And as a guest, would you like to come and spend a weekend here in this environment?
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
There you go. As well as the 1 acre of grounds, they also get 1.5 extra acres of woodland. Now, I think the woodland, to an extent, will manage itself, but it will take some care.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
However, it could be a prime spot for shepherd huts. Back on level ground, it's time to talk money. How much do you think this woodland house, if you like, is on the market for?
I'm going to say £620,000.
OK.
And I'm going to say an optimistic £600,000.
This house is actually on the market for £565,000.
Wow. That does...
pretty amazing, really.
It does give some scope to do maybe the work in the house that
Yeah.
we might like to do.
Does it make you feel any differently about the house, knowing that you definitely can afford it?
Yes.
It would give us a really good head start, for sure.
Well, use this time to just walk around the place. Get to know the land, see what you get for your money, and I'll catch you later on. Under budget by £85,000, Adrian and Sarah have warmed to this hillside country house because of the potential it offers them. It enjoys views over Tintern Abbey and comes with 3 bedrooms, as well as a useful attic space. Outside, there's a separate log cabin, and all told, there's well over 2.5 acres of land.
I think there's a huge amount of scope to really create something quite special that Sarah and I would really, really like.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I wasn't expecting this.
Bit of a surprise, isn't it?
You're thinking what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I am.
This would make an amazing master
I
bedroom.
think we want to live up here.
When I first arrived at the house, I wasn't 100% sure. But once I went into the lounge and saw the views out of the lounge window and looking down towards the Abbey, I definitely felt the light and the space. It felt more us.
At the moment, I'm on the tipping point of saying that I would want to put as much energy into this and make it happen. But I'm still not quite sure.
Well then, how are we feeling?
Good.
There was lots to look around here, wasn't there?
There was a lot to take in.
There's a lot to think about.
Good. Well, I hope there is, but also there'll be a lot for visitors to enjoy. You know, this could be repeat business here, couldn't it, if everyone
so.
came to stay?
It's a special spot.
Good. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Let's head off. The River Wye is the 5th longest river in the United Kingdom. Flowing some 130 miles for much of its length, it forms part of the border between England and Wales. But it's not only countries that this river brings together. Adrian and Sarah have a shared love of the Wye. For Adrian, it's an excellent fishing spot, and Sarah dreams of riding along its banks. Today, though, they're having a completely different riverside adventure to forage for wild food, an activity that has taken off in recent years. They're meeting local foraging expert Adele Nozida.
Adele, we really love cooking and food, but we've never done anything in terms of foraging, so what's it all about?
I don't think you're new to foraging. That might sound a bit bonkers, but if you pick blackberries, then essentially you're a forager. Foraging is something that's embedded in our DNA. We've done it for generations. It's not just about blackberries, though. And I would say to you that wherever you are, standing here right now, within a mile radius, there's going to be at least 100 different kinds of things that you can eat.
So are there any rules or limits on what you can forage?
Rules, yes, there are. But they tend to be up to the individual forager because it's very, very hard to reinforce, as you might imagine. But I think if you bear in mind that as a forager, you have to be aware of nature in the biggest sense and realise that birds, insects, other animals need these things as well as us, and it's to respect that, not to take more than you know that you're going to use.
So where are we going to go foraging?
Got a bit of a surprise for you.
Oh.
We heard about how much you love fishing on the River Wye, so we've got some waterproof gear, we've got some canoes, and we're going to go up the river and see what we can find here on the River Wye in the place you want to live.
Sounds fantastic.
But foraging by water isn't just a novelty. When Adele spots something interesting along the banks, the canoe will allow them to pull into areas inaccessible to those on foot. On the river, Sarah's already thinking about lunch.
Adele, what edibles will we find on the river today?
All sorts of stuff. I can see mint from here, forget-me-nots, which are also edible, believe it or not. Quite a lot of stuff, and we're seeing so much because we're here on the river.
Adele has been foraging since she was a child and has written a couple of books on how to forage safely. Foraging is becoming increasingly fashionable, and today wild foods are considered an essential part of the menu by some of the world's best restaurants. Adele has spotted a possible starter.
This little chap here, he's called pineapple weed. Have you heard of it before?
Never.
Come and have a look. Take a little bit of this end bit here. Have a taste.
It's really nice.
Unusual.
Like chamomile, pineapple weed can be used to make herbal tea or added to a salad, and is believed to have medicinal benefits. Another popular plant, which has a long history of use in food and medicine, is mugwort.
Roman soldiers used to put this in their sandals to refresh their feet when they're on long marches. So
I
it
could
might
do
be
with
worth,
some of that. Yeah.
it might be worth thinking about having a go at that. But what we're going to do with this is we're going to use this and the mint, and we're going to have a nice brew sitting on the banks of the River Wye. How about
Sounds
that?
good.
Excellent.
Mugwort has been used to flavour drinks in Britain as far back as the Middle Ages. Today it can be found along hedgerows and riverbanks. Its uses also include repelling insects such as moths, flavouring meat or fish, and of course, as a tea.
That is really nice, isn't it? It's a nice mix.
It is.
It's really nice.
It is. Surprisingly sweet as well, isn't it? Which is good, because I always have sugar in my tea.
Although anyone can forage, it's important to know what you're picking, as some plants can be poisonous. The safest option is to attend a foraging workshop with an expert like Adele.
It's been brilliant, and hopefully we'll be able to do this when we move to the Wye Valley.
Pleasure, let's hope so. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm property hunting in the beautiful Wye Valley with Guildford-based couple Adrian and Sarah. They've already viewed 23 houses themselves, but have struggled to find a home for their £650,000 with the right land for luxury camping. Still to come, our mystery house gives a different spin on their business idea.
It's tempting. Very tempting.
And I discover how these fish could revolutionise how we produce food. In the most artificial way, you're creating something very organic, if you like, aren't you?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Well, I'm really pleased how yesterday went, and I'm hoping for more great reactions from the next property, another really nice house with fantastic land. Then this afternoon, we're off to the mystery house. Now, this is where we get the opportunity to interpret our buyers' requirements. I'm going to show them another really nice house that also has the opportunity for private enterprise. And on this occasion, it comes in a slightly different shape and form. Let's see how we go. But before I reveal that mystery property, we're hopping over the border to Gloucestershire and the village of St Breville's. Located between the Wye Valley and the Forest of Dean, the village is perched on the edge of a limestone plateau and enjoys expansive views of the surrounding countryside. St Breville's remains relatively unchanged and has a pub, deli and assembly rooms which hosts events for the local community. The property I'm showing Adrian and Sarah is a mile from the village, situated in a remote spot overlooking the Wye Valley. Now, there's one very good reason why I've brought you here, and it's that.
Wow,
Yeah, it's breathtaking, isn't it?
What a spot.
that is beautiful. That's why we love the Wye Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Priceless. Literally priceless.
Now, with this view, you get a free house. I suppose we should look at the house at one point, shouldn't we?
We should really.
Yeah.
Really.
First impressions?
Yeah,
It's
I
nice.
think it's really quite sweet, actually, with the little windows.
Knowing what I do about what you're after, there might be a few things you might want to shake up a little bit. But knowing that that isn't changing, I think...
That's never going to change.
I'm anchoring to that, and I think you should too. All right, keep that in mind. This is a very special property. Should we look inside?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Let's go.
The house dates back to the early 19th century, but has been extended and renovated by the current owners. We're starting off in the sitting room. Views continue inside.
Really good views. Shame only to get a glimpse of it, though. You almost get
Really
teased by the glimpses of it. Have the whole thing would be amazing.
I was thinking a bit more
Bifold.
natural
Open
like
that
that.
Bifold
Open
doors.
that right. Oh, yeah.
Come on, think about it.
I know.
Bifold doors there.
Out onto a deck. That would be amazing.
You've sold it to me. I think it would be amazing.
Now, at the moment, this room here isn't used. It's fully heated, triple glazed, so you can use it in the winter.
Might make quite a nice dining room, actually.
Although you do have another one in the old part of the building. Let me show you.
Okay.
Well, so far, so good. And knowing that Sarah was after character, I'm confident about the next room. This is the 19th century part of the building, with proportions to match. Cute dining room, though, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. Another nice floor.
Wood burner, like that.
Can we meet to the new kitchen? Now this is a much more recent addition.
Wow.
The kitchen's about a year old.
Love the colour.
Like this.
And nice work surfaces.
Good, good.
Oh, this is lovely. I really
I
like
do
this.
like that.
It's quite an unusual shape, but it really works and it's really light in areas. And it's good proportions, yeah, it's a good size. It doesn't feel small or cramped.
No, because you've got utility areas and a proper traditional larder.
Yeah.
You've got a proper boot room. You know, you'd always use the back door. This is a proper country house, isn't
Proper
it?
country cottage.
Yeah, isn't it?
I see myself living here already.
Can you?
I can, yeah, really can, yeah.
I'm getting the feeling that Adrian and Sarah's long-held dream of moving to the country might be edging ever closer. The house has 3 bedrooms. One of those is on the ground floor, along with a family bathroom. That fireplace you glimpsed there, that works. Apparently the owner lights it once a year on Christmas Day. But this is my thought. At the moment, this is a spare bedroom, but it's the only room with that view.
Wow. Master bedroom.
Got to
then.
be, isn't it?
Yeah.
It has to be.
Definitely.
It's a really good size as well. Nice modern floor, dual aspect. Being able to just lie in bed and look out the window
Waking up to that view.
would be amazing.
Yeah. The remaining 2 bedrooms are upstairs, a double guest room and a single that could make a home office. But with the sun making an appearance, we're heading outside to explore the land. Just through there, you've got the most amazing shed. It's got its own wood-burning stove in it. The landscaped gardens are made up of a lawn with well-stocked borders overlooking the Wye Valley. There's a pond, a private section of woodland and a mini orchard. With 3.5 acres of land in total, I think it's fair to say that they're impressed by what I've shown them. Will their guesses on price reflect their enthusiasm? I think we're onto something special here, aren't we?
Yes, I think we are.
Definitely on something very special. I'm really sold on it.
Me too.
So, time to guess the price.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I just keep looking at that view and thinking it's going to be above the budget.
Almost priceless, that, isn't it?
Well, this is it. But I'm going to go for £645,000.
What are you guessing then, Sarah?
I'm thinking £650,000
Right at the top of your budget.
because of the views.
Well, you are a bit out, because this house is on the market for £615,000.
615.
You've got change,
Music to our ears.
isn't it?
Yeah, that's good.
That's incredible. That's. Yeah,
Amazing.
I'm just
How?
a bit stunned.
How?
I didn't. Yeah.
Don't tell anyone.
No, shh, please don't tell anyone.
These are emotions that you should remember. So go and have a look around everywhere, and I will meet you whenever you're done, all right? See you in a bit.
Thank you.
Under budget by £35,000, this extended property boasts far-reaching views over the Wye Valley and offers Adrian and Sarah the location, character and space they were after. Many of the rooms are dual aspect with stunning outlooks, including a fantastic garden room. There are 3 bedrooms and outside, the 3.5 acres of land includes woodland, ideal for shepherd huts.
Really excited about this area. I think we could do something here in terms of glamping.
Woodland Glade is just what you need for a nice glamping location. It's
Exactly.
hidden out of the way. You really feel you're in the wilds. It could be something very special indeed,
Very
couldn't
exciting.
it? Yeah. It is absolutely perfect. I think it's everything we've been looking for and then some.
The layout, the size of the house really works for us. I wouldn't really change much inside at all. The views are to die for. I don't think we'd ever tire of that.
No.
And it's also got the land that we wanted for the potential business as well. So it's amazing.
With the number of houses we've seen over time and finding this one, I would be very distraught, I think, almost, if we didn't get this one.
Will I be able to pull you away from this amazing view, do you think?
No.
No, we'd like to stay, please.
Well, that's kind of good news, but we still have one property to see, and it is the mystery house. Give it a look.
Okay.
Yes.
Might as well. Come on, let's go. The peaceful wooded hills of the Wye Valley may at first seem an unlikely location for a pioneering method that could help solve global food issues. But on a small holding in Monmouthshire, an unusual looking structure has been built that could be the key to boosting our food self-sufficiency. Launched in 2014, the Aquaponics solar greenhouse is one of the first of its kind in Britain. I've come to the farm in Penalt to find out more about this cutting-edge food production system. Becca Beebe manages this greenhouse. Now, Becca, suddenly the heat or humidity is turned up in here, isn't it? Can you talk me through what exactly we're stood in?
Okay, this is the Aquaponics solar greenhouse, which is a combination of old and new technology and design. The solar greenhouse is actually an ancient Chinese design.
How so?
The design of the curve and the way the greenhouse is facing, so we face due south to gain as much solar energy as possible.
Because there's a lot of greenhouses that don't necessarily want to face south because there's so much heat being transferred into the building, isn't there? But you want to embrace as much of that as possible.
Because we grow throughout the winter,
Yeah.
and obviously in winter there's lower light levels, so we want to gain as much as possible. In the summer we do use shade to prevent scorching of leaves.
But the solar greenhouse isn't the only thing that's revolutionary. The plants are grown using aquaponics, a system that marries aquaculture, or raising fish, with hydroponics, which is soilless growing. The idea being the growth of more food in less space. Talk me through the cycle then, because I understand these fish are kind of at the start of this whole cycle of life here, aren't they?
Yes, they are. These are Nile tilapia. The fish are fed, and obviously everything produces waste, so they poo in the water. The dirty water gets sucked from the bottom of the fish tanks and is pumped individually to each grow bed. The fish actually provide the nutrients for the plants, and in turn the plants clean the water, and then it drains back into the fish tanks clean, so it's a closed loop. It uses very little water.
It's a growing system that's perfect for small enclosed areas in cities or where water and soil are scarce. Aquaponics uses 1/10 of the water of soil-based gardening. And since the water in the tanks is warm, you can also grow ginger, lemongrass and chilies all year round. Plants not commonly found in your average greenhouse. It's a wonderful juxtaposition, really, almost a paradox, because in the most artificial way, you're creating something very organic, if you like, aren't you?
Yeah, no, you're right. It's some people look at it, and because there's plastic tanks and pumps and lights and solar panels, and it kind of can look very technical and false. But it's actually a very healthy way of growing. There's no chemicals going into it.
I think it's fascinating.
Yeah.
This low-impact, sustainable process could soon be catching on in a big way, with commercial aquaponic farms opening in London and West Sussex, following the method introduced here in the Wye Valley. For our mystery house, I'm taking Adrian and Sarah to the village of Ruadine in Gloucestershire. It's going to take a lot to beat our last house, but I'm hoping it will at least shake things up a bit. Located in the Forest of Dean, Ruadine was once the centre for local coal mines, furnaces and forges, although today little remains of the industry that once thrived here. There are plenty of amenities, and a 900-year-old parish church with its tall steeple is a striking presence. Just a little over a mile away from the village, we come to the Mystery House, which is the final property in our lineup. And to give you your bearings, those trees there, that's the Forest of Dean.
Okay.
And it's looked over by the Mystery House.
Okay.
First impressions.
It looks like a very tidy property.
Does.
It looks quite big.
Is it modern trying to look older?
Parts of this date back to the 18th century.
Okay.
This was an old barn that's pretty much been rebuilt.
Yeah.
Now, we've brought you here to this Mystery House because we want you to have the enterprise that you asked for, and we're thinking you could split this house in two.
Okay.
Letting, home. What about that idea?
Sounds interesting.
Something different, isn't it?
It is different.
I want Adrian and Sarah to park the idea of a glamping business for a moment and instead consider the ready-made option of running a self-catering holiday let. Less work for them, freeing up time to enjoy their hobbies. I think you'll like this kitchen. I think you like the whole setup.
Yes. this
Oh, it's a
lovely
very nice kitchen.
Very modern.
Now, if you like wood, you're in luck with this house, because there's a lot of it and it's been really well finished.
Very nicely done.
Yeah.
This mystery house gives you an opportunity, in my opinion, to be a bit more indulgent. You've come to this part of the world to spend more time doing your own pursuits. You're riding, you're fishing, walking out in this wonderful countryside. We thought this property, being completely finished, needing no work whatsoever, allows you to do just that. You come, you move here, you have fun.
Yeah. I think that's a very good point.
They seem to be reserving judgment on that idea at this stage, but let's press on. There's a family bathroom on the ground floor and upstairs 2 bedrooms, including a cosy double and a master. Nice office for you there, Adrian.
Oh, yes.
I think we can do better than that.
I think it's a bit small. But...
Now up here on the first floor, you have 2 bedrooms,
Oh,
ensuite.
Oh, wow.
the ensuite looks very smart.
Again, the finish here,
Oh,
every bit of architraving.
It's
Just,
polished, isn't it?
yeah,
It's beautiful. They've done a fantastic job.
Yeah, those windows are nice, looking out onto the garden.
Now, so far we've talked about your enterprise, your business idea of being camping or glamping. But this property itself gives you an opportunity to earn some money. Let me show you. Downstairs, a utility area connects the main house to a converted barn, which has all its own facilities. Now, this part of the property, the old barn, if you like, could be completely self-contained. At the moment, that's a master bedroom, family bathroom here.
Okay.
The utility can be probably converted into a small kitchen. And upstairs, further accommodation. Come with me. Now, I think this house was originally designed to have 2 bedrooms up on the first floor. They've got it now as bedroom there with a loo, ensuite loo only, and this is the first floor living room, which gives you nicer views.
Nice idea.
Good, isn't it?
Upside down living.
Clever way of doing it.
So how about running this as a little bit of a business?
It's tempting. Very tempting.
And it's up and running straight away. You've
Yeah.
got a house ready to move into. You've got this place that's ready. Don't need to pitch a tent yet.
Could do, but we really are set on glamping.
Really? Even though
Yeah.
you've got this?
Yeah.
Clearly, they're committed to the cause. Luckily, outside delivers a small-scale option to keep them on track. The lawned gardens to the front are overlooked by a glass-covered veranda, and there's further land to the side with a wooden summer house. There's also a small orchard of 1/4 of an acre with power and drainage for their luxury camping. Bearing in mind what you've seen, you've got to guess the price. And I'm glad I'm not in your shoes. So I think this is tricky.
It is
It's
really
very tricky.
I'd say £600,000.
OK. Adrian?
I'm going to go slightly more, £610,000.
It's on the market for £545,000.
No, really?
That's a really good price.
It is a very good price.
Especially when you bear in mind that this mystery property has, if you like, an up and running letting property.
See, yes.
We brought you here to the mystery house because it gives you a very different option. But if you go through your wish list, there's loads of ticks attached to it, isn't there?
Definitely.
There is.
I'll catch you later on, all right? See you in a
Thank you.
moment.
See you later.
Look, this house has gone well enough, and I think it's an absolutely gorgeous property. But their minds, no, their hearts seem elsewhere. Impeccably presented, our mystery property is £105,000 under budget. With an open plan living space, 2 bedrooms in the main house and a further 2 in the barn, the property has a self-contained holiday let ready to go. And outside, there's an orchard for a small glamping enterprise.
I think this house is absolutely beautiful, and it certainly has given myself and I think Sarah quite a bit of inspiration about how we might like our future house to look inside. The reason I don't feel this house is the right one for us is it's just not in the right location. It doesn't have the views, it doesn't have the incredible forest surrounding it, and the land as well.
It does offer a business opportunity, which is the self-catering holiday accommodation. It's not the glamping business that I've dreamed of and we've dreamed of creating together, so I think that's the one drawback with this house.
Do I need to check your pockets for apples? You've not been scrumping, have you? So, all done here?
We are, yeah.
Had a good look around?
Had a good look around.
Are you getting close to making a decision?
I think so.
Yeah?
Very much so.
Let's go then, come on. Well, we've seen some cracking properties over the past couple of days, but for me, and hopefully Sarah and Adrian, there is one house that stands heads and shoulders above the rest. Let's find out their thoughts. So, you're not bickering, which means you've come to a decision that you both agree on, does it?
We have.
Definitely.
We've seen the properties. We've added them to the list of properties you've already seen throughout the Wye Valley. And to my mind, there's been a clear favourite. And that is that wonderful house with the views.
Amazing views.
Amazing views. Is that still the property to beat?
I think it will always be the property to beat.
Why is it your favourite compared to everything you've seen so far?
I think it's the complete package. It has a really nice looking country cottage, it had a nice feel about it, it had the land, the views, everything really.
So how much do you like the house with the views then?
So much so
Yeah.
that we've put an offer in on it.
Really?
Yes. And actually, there's a
There's
bit
a bit
more
more.
to that story.
What? OK.
The offer's been accepted.
What? where was I? Really?
Yes.
Yes.
That's amazing
So
news.
we bought that house.
Yes.
I'll just go then.
Your work
Nice
is
meeting
done.
you.
Your work is done.
That's amazing. That's fantastic.
Yes. So,
We have a little something.
I was wondering why there wasn't cakes here. I've normally got cakes.
Do you want to get the other glass? I'll get that. Or do you want to bring the whole thing up?
There we go.
I like
There you
this. I like this. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations. That's brilliant news. Well done. That's brilliant
Thank you,
news.
Johnny. Thank you very much.
you.
all your help.
Look, I wish you the very best of luck, and I wish you'd open that bottle straight away. Come on, let's have a go at this, shall we? That's fantastic news. If I may suggest a toast to you both, and the best of luck in your move to the beautiful Wye Valley.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Thank you,
Cheers.
Johnny.
Cheers, Johnny.
Carry on glamping.
Indeed.
I've got to say, there was a point when I was showing Adrian and Sarah around the mystery house that I thought, they're not really concentrating here. Their minds seem to have drifted off somewhere else. I now know their minds were definitely on something else, and that was putting an offer in on the house with the views. But I think the real victory here is that after looking at so many properties, I think they thought they'd have to settle for something. But they haven't. They've actually opted for a property that's clearly blown them away. And I think it would blow most people away if they're looking for a property in this part of the world. So they've put their money where their mouth is, and they're buying that house. They're moving here to the beautiful Wye Valley. And I can't say I'm not chuffed. See you next time. If you'd like to escape to the country in England, Northern Ireland, Scotland or Wales and would like our help, you can apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.